We're always being told to eat better, but what does that really even mean? Especially when you're just trying to get through a grocery store on a Tuesday night. It can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. But what if I told you there's a simple tool that cuts through all that noise? That's what we're going to dive into today.
And this quote from Stanford Medicine, wow, it just gets right to the heart of everything. It's a total mindset shift. Just think about it for a second. Every single meal is an opportunity. You're either feeding inflammation that can cause disease, or you're giving your body the actual building blocks it needs to heal itself. That right there, that's the power behind this whole idea that food is medicine.
Okay, but that's the million-dollar question, right? Food as medicine sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? When your shopping cart is full of the same old stuff, it can feel pretty intimidating, for sure. But the good news is, this is not about some radical overnight diet overhaul. Not at all. So before we get into all the practical how-to stuff, let's just take a minute to build our foundation. Let's really get a handle on the why. Why do these whole foods matter so much in the first place? Here's the core of it. Think of your body like a really nice high-performance engine. Processed foods, they're kind of like cheap, low-grade fuel. Sure, it runs, but over time, it causes all this gunk to build up. Whole foods, fruits, vegetables, greens, that's the premium stuff. That's the clean-burning fuel that lets your engine run smoothly for the long haul. And here is a super practical way to put that premium fuel idea on your plate. Literally, the USDA's My Plate is such a brilliant, simple visual. If you just aim to fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables, you're pretty much guaranteeing you're loading up on those anti-inflammatory, nutrient-packed foods that help prevent disease. It's such a simple little trick for a really powerful health strategy. And honestly, this one idea says it all. This is the key. Choosing a whole food over a processed one might feel like a tiny, insignificant thing in the moment. But all the research from places like Harvard Health confirms this is where the magic happens. It's not about being perfect. It's about making these small, consistent swaps that over time have a huge impact on your long-term health. Okay, so we get the why. Now let's get into the fun part, the practical how. If small swaps are the goal, how do we make them easier? This is where a tool like the Seasonal Food Guide becomes your new best friend. The entire point of a guide like this is to take away the guesswork, to get rid of that intimidation factor when you're looking at fresh food. Maybe you get a CSA box from a local farm and you have no idea what to do with a kohlrabi. We've all been there. This guide is designed to be like your friendly co-pilot in the kitchen. I absolutely love this message because it is so true. This is not about becoming some gourmet chef overnight. Nope. It's about learning a few simple skills, a few easy recipes that make you feel powerful and in control of making delicious, nourishing food. It's all about making good food accessible to everyone. So what's actually in this thing? Let's take a quick peek inside so you can see how it's all set up to help you win in the kitchen. It's basically broken down into 4 key areas that all work together. You've got simple meal plans, so you know what to make. You get easy kitchen skills, so you know how to make it. There are produce spotlights, so you know what's fresh right now. And then you have these food as medicine features to keep you connected to why it all matters. It's a complete system to build your confidence. And what's really cool is that it's not just a static book. See, throughout the guide, you'll find these QR codes. You just scan them with your phone and boom, it unlocks this whole other layer of help. Things like short video tutorials, extra recipes, or even tips on how to properly store your greens so they actually last all week. And please know, this is not some rigid all-or-nothing plan. It's meant for you to flip through it and just pick out what works for you and your family. Maybe one week you try a new recipe, and the next you just focus on one new skill. It is designed to fit your life, not the other way around. All right, now let's zoom out a little bit. Because using a guide like this, it doesn't just impact your own personal health. It actually plugs you into a much bigger picture of your community and local food systems. When you decide to buy and eat local, seasonal food, you are doing so much more than just feeding yourself. You're casting a vote with your dollar. You're supporting a whole network of real people and businesses in your own community. Places like Need More Acres Farm and partners like the Food Connection at UK. Your choices create this incredible ripple effect that makes your entire local food system stronger. And this push to connect people with fresh food, it's happening on a much bigger systemic level too. On one hand, you've got programs like nutrition incentives, which basically help make fresh fruits and veggies more affordable. And on the other hand, you've got this amazing movement of produce prescriptions, where doctors are literally prescribing food to help treat health conditions. Both are just powerful ways to bridge that gap between food access and healthcare.
Okay, so we've covered the why, the how, and the bigger community picture. Let's bring it all back home and talk about your first simple step forward.
So let's make this real. I just want you to pause for a second and think about this question. It doesn't have to be some huge, life-altering change. Maybe it's just grabbing some fresh peaches while they're in season, or trying one new vegetable from the farmer's market this weekend. What's one small, totally achievable thing you could do?
Because that's what this is all about. It's the simple, repeatable actions. That's what builds momentum and creates real, lasting, positive change in your health and in your life. It all starts with one small choice at a time.
And at the end of the day, this is the most important thing to remember. Food isn't just fuel. It's a way we show care for ourselves and for the people we love. It's how we connect with our culture, our heritage, and our local community. So the question really isn't just about what you're eating, but what are you building with your food?